If you want the big ticket out on the market, whether it's free agency or trade name, if you could circle one player, a proven player, and you could find a way to make him a Niner, that's my guy, MAXX CROSBY. I got a little bit of a different, and this is the beauty of like when we get to draft season, the offseason, maybe a little bit of a different philosophy on that. I don't want the Niners to go all in on a wide receiver in the draft. I really don't. I don't want them to use a high pick on a wide receiver because even the high pick wide receivers, usually, sometimes they don't, but they usually take a minute. Wide receiver is not a great rookie. I know you're all going to come up with, well, but Puka.
Light McConkey.
Not always. Not always. Usually it takes a minute for wide receivers, and I would like the Niners to get help right now. I would rather see them, A, get healthy at wide receiver, B, do something in kind of the B level range in free agency, that kind of Christian Kirk level, not an A player, not someone who's going to ask for $30 million a year, but a good player you could bring in, couple years, $25 million, whatever, but be a professional. Be someone that you can rely on at the wide receiver position. And at tight end, that's where I might look to draft someone, number one. If you want the big ticket out on the market, whether it's free agency or trade name, that I would be obsessed with if I were a 49er fan, and I am, it's MAXX CROSBY. If you could circle one player that's a proven player and you could find a way to make him a Niner, that's my guy, MAXX CROSBY.
It'd be great. I mean, that would be a perfect edge opposite Nick. And, depending on, how quickly Nick comes back off a third ACL and how good he's actually going to be, you need help there. You need help in the interior. You definitely need a wide receiver of some sort, and you need a tight end. And, it's not just because George will be out until whatever, September, October, who knows when George comes back, but he's getting up there. Mm-hmm. And, we've learned from Shanahan's offense that even if you don't have Christian McCaffrey, you can still do well on the ground. So I wouldn't think about a free agent running back or even a drafted running back. If I'm looking at needs, I'm looking at edge rusher, center, guard, tight end.
I'm so with you.
Cornerback. How about a nice, tall, big corner? Because Upton Stout's a great corner, but he's not 6'3", 6'4". Right. And you look at who you have to stop. You got to stop Puka, and you got to stop JSN. And these are physical, good, bigger receivers.
Well, and I love Lenore, but Renardo Green did not have a great year. And so it does feel a little bit thin back there. I can see them addressing that in the draft. Youth at the corner position sometimes does take a minute as well, but I think they can be well served there. But I'm with you. The majority of what you just said was I need the big people who start with a hand on the ground.
Yep.
That's who you need. That's where this team, sure, do they need to do something at wide receiver? Of course they do. Of course they do. But this offseason, to me, is inside out, not outside in.
Right, and if you think about, the good defense has gone by, you remember people like DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead, guys who played inside, who were good. DeForest Buckner, when he was here, he was a monster.
Yep.
And if you have somebody who's a threat in the inside of your defensive line, then Nick Bosa has a better chance to eat. And, think about Mykel Williams coming back. If you got Mykel and another guy inside, and you've got Nick on the outside, and Fred is back, all of a sudden now, even if you don't upgrade the corners, they're going to be better. It's what you said last week about, these poor corners who you had no pass rush. You had 20 sacks all year. How are they supposed to cover? They can't.
A lot of people bringing up Tyler Linderbaum. Free agent center, Baltimore Ravens,
I like the player.
25 years old.
I like the player. He's really good at hiking the ball.
Right.
Just stupid.
No, he's a Pro Bowler. I don't know if that matters anymore because who the hell isn't? But he's
Shedeur Sanders. I'll save it for Friday.
Shedeur.
No, good for Shedeur.
Yeah, good for Shedeur.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pro Bowler.
No, he threw at least 5 touchdown passes this year.
Right.
So, yeah.
It reminds me of a local election where it's okay, the school board, choose 4. And you look at the ballot, and there are only 4 people on there. So you either vote for all 4, or you write in some cockamamie name of nobody who exists. That's the Pro Bowl.
Oh, I shorted him, too. He had 7. off and on over the next 3 months, that's going to be a conversation. Keep or trade Mac Jones.
Yeah, and we can get into it. I mean, your keep, I'm trade.
You're trading?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm trading, but as long as you get more than a third.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, what's your number? You're not just trading for anything.
No. I mean, you're going to trade him for what he's worth. And I do think that if you keep him and then he signs elsewhere, you get a third-round comp pick, if I'm not mistaken, after next year.
After next year.
So for me, like, that's where the bar is. You're not going to trade him for a song or, a fourth and a seventh or whatever, or a bottle of cranberry juice.
I'm not a GM, but I would be surprised. I really would if somebody's going to give you their 2 for Mac. I really would be surprised.
That depends. Depends on the team. And, we can go around the league and, now's not the day to do that.
No.
Like, there are teams that if they got Mac Jones right now, he would be the best quarterback they have.
Well, sure. There's always teams that have crappy quarterback situations. Yep. But the question is whether or not they see that as the fix going forward. And I don't know. I mean, I know that this system has done quarterback rehab before.
Yep.
I don't know if you heard the news, but 13 days from now, somebody's going to play in the Super Bowl who went to Kyle Shanahan's quarterback rehab school.
Exactly.
So,
I think that makes Mac more attractive.
Maybe. I don't think he's unattractive. I just think people are going to really hesitate to give up their 2. That's a big pick. I mean, it's a big draft pick.
Depending on where you are, but also, like, Sam Darnold went from here to Minnesota, and now he's going to be starting in the big game down there in Levi's.
But all you had to give up for him at that time was a few bucks. You didn't have to give up
$100 million, but yeah.
No. The Vikings. The Vikings got him for $10 million. You don't have to give up a pick. Seattle didn't have to give up a pick. So I
they
just
had to give up Geno Smith.
They were fine with that.